Okay, everybody, we are back with more Better Call Saul, and this time we're on Season 3, Episode 5. Before we get started, just a quick heads up, if you are watching this over on YouTube, that you can watch the full version of this reaction, as well as get early access reactions by supporting the Patreon and also checking out Ezret.tv. I would love your support, but aside from that, let's stop talking and get started. Okay, for the Patreon people, we are going to get started in 3, 2, 1. Get a little lawn care done, Chuck.
Found a phone. It looks like it's from 1967, but I think it'll work.
Just a sec, Jimmy. Excellent. Thank you for being so careful.
Wow.
We have to get in your attic.
For what?
On a hookup.
No, it's all right. We're not gonna. When you're done here, would you get some more lamps in the garage?
They're just like, what do you mean you're not gonna?
So, we got a phone. The yard's half mowed. The sockets and stuff are looking A-okay. I'm gonna check again just to make sure. Chuck, you sure this is the right play? I mean, in my experience, the bigger the lie, the harder it can be to dig out.
I'll cross that bridge when I come to it.
Okay, I'm really curious. Like, what is happening right now? Whoa. I get a little feel of romance right now. He's like cooking up a 5-course meal over here. So I assume this is, you know, prior to his wife, right? Or him maybe trying to woo her. Yep. That's exactly what this is.
Rebecca,
Chuck.
you look lovely.
Oh, it's so good to see you.
Why are you sitting here in the dark?
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing.
Oh, my God. The afternoon I've had. 2 hours ago, I take the sea bass out. No sooner is it prepped and resting than, boom, power goes down. To make a long story short, those bozos at PNM mixed up my payment. The deadbeat at 512 San Cristobal hasn't been paying
This is
his
a very
bills.
elaborate
and of course,
lie.
I'm 215.
215.
Exactly.
Oh my God. I can't eat another bite.
I'm so sorry about the lights.
Oh, it's nice. Atmospheric.
Really is.
I still can't get over Jimmy being a lawyer.
Neither can I. He's got his own shingle out and everything.
I mean, a real responsible citizen. I mean, who would have thought?
If only you know what's happening in present day.
This place is the same. I mean, I would have thought you'd change things up, move things around.
You've got great taste, and if it ain't broke.
Oh. I'm sorry. I hate that thing. I feel like I'm on a leash.
Oh no.
Oh, it's my conductor. I have to take this. I'm sorry. Hi, Andre. No, I'm just at dinner. What's up? I will make sure that. Can you hold on a second? Let me just get a pen. Yeah. No, Yeah. Hold on one second. Yeah.
That's wild, man.
Okay. All right. Sure.
Just find a reason to walk out the room.
Okay, hiding?
Yeah.
Chuck?
All right.
Well, do you want me to rehearse the cello separately?
Rebecca.
Yeah. What the hell?
Jeez.
Andre? I'll have to call you back. I'm sorry. What is your problem?
It is incredibly bad manners to answer a cell
Oh
phone
my
in company.
god, are you serious?
It's very rude.
You just ruined everything.
I'm sorry.
I may have overreacted. That was very abrupt.
No, I understand.
Maybe I should go watch. The entire mood is just gonna
It's
plummet.
getting late.
Yeah.
Thank you for a lovely dinner, but I should be getting back to the hotel.
Would you rather she think you're a raging prick than know the truth? No. Look, if you won't tell her, then I will.
What was the point of inviting her here if you couldn't keep this up forever anyway?
You will not tell her.
Hi, Andre. Yes.
You're desperate to win her back, but then you don't want to tell the truth about you. Like, that's no way to do it at all.
Jesus, what are you doing, man? There's barely any oxygen in that bag. You're suffocating her.
Her?
Yeah, just because you don't see swinging dicks doesn't mean you can't tell a blue fish from a girl fish. I'm guessing our friend didn't refer you to me to get ichthyological advice.
So they're just getting acquainted, pretty
Light
much.
touch. I'm not talking some teenager taking a 5-finger discount of string cheese at the Stop and Shop. I need highly skilled, high-end, discreet, real pro.
I got just the guy then.
Maybe see if you're on the same page first, because it sounds like he needs a a hit job done.
Ladies, dinner's on me.
Kim, I knew you were good, but I didn't know you were this good.
Oh, I'm glad you're happy.
We couldn't have done it without you, and I hope you realize this means a whole lot of work coming your way.
Well,
That's the scary part, especially
that's
dealing
great.
with Chuck now.
Well, you don't sound like it's great.
I hate to be a buzzkill, but there is something you need to hear before we get any deeper in. It's about your former attorney. Charles thinks
gonna tell
that
her?
Jimmy somehow took control of your documents while he was working on them at his home. He believes Jimmy transposed the address numbers.
Transpose the numbers? How would he even do that?
Charles contends that Jimmy took the documents pertaining to the Rosella branch and
It's
while
gonna come out
Charles was
sooner or later. Now
indisposed,
there's a case.
photocopied and doctored them.
If there's one thing I cannot abide, it's a man who won't own up to his mistakes. Now,
Chuck.
whatever mud McGill is slinging is not going to screw me out of the best outside counsel I've ever had.
Oh,
I'm so glad to hear that.
his
Works
face
for me.
was scared me, but okay.
Strategy.
He's still
We
Team
move on
Kim.
to Colorado, or you
That's
talk
all I
first?
want.
See you at 7.
This McGill thing? You're sure it's not going to be a problem?
I am. Mesa Verde isn't involved in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, good. Then
It
I'll
just
see
makes
you
me
tonight.
nervous because, like,
Okay, great.
she's.
See you then.
I mean, they have a right to worry, but I'm just scared this is going to just bounce back hard on Mesa Verde, and we have to let them go, or they want to let go of us. You're thinking, Howard?
I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do about the exit signs. It's code.
I appreciate all you're doing. Thank you.
Mr. Alley, I wonder if you'd give us a moment. I'd like to go over something with my colleague.
Oh
I'll be
God!
outside when
Here
you're
we
ready.
go.
How you feeling, Chuck?
I'll muddle through.
Honestly,
Because this is a lot to ask. Maybe there's no need to put you through the ringer like this.
This isn't about me or my health. This is about PR. This is not the time to worry about how we look. This is about what's right and what's wrong. He deserves disbarment, not some slap on the wrist. No, Howard, there's
this
only
is just
one
gonna
way
look
forward.
bad for everybody. Oh God!
Let justice be done, though the heavens fall.
Any reasonable person would agree that assaulting another lawyer in his own home reflects badly on Mr. McGill's fitness as an attorney. Mr. McGill broke into his brother's home and destroyed an audio cassette which contained a recording of a
I'm
conversation
hoping
between
like,
himself
Kim
and his
definitely
brother,
recorded
Charles
something.
McGill.
She said bingo at
We
the
will
end
show
of-
that this recording was evidence in an ongoing legal case.
But there is another side to this story. One not about calculation or ill intent, but about two brothers. We believe
The
that after
story,
you have the
Kim.
complete picture, you'll understand James McGill is an asset to our legal community.
Being a lawyer is so
Thank you.
interesting because you have to be a key storyteller because you have to get whoever you're trying to win over on your
everyone's
side. You have to
ready
get them
to
to understand.
Begin testimony?
It's not just
Bang,
all about
bang,
facts; it's all about
bang.
feelings too.
Then he kicked down the door.
Look,
Jimmy was very
bang, like-
agitated. He was shouting. He demanded Charles turn over the evidence he'd been collecting.
Objection. We haven't established the tape is evidence of anything.
What happened after the defendant smashed this tape?
Mr. Brightbill and I,
That's the private investigator that Charles hired?
that's correct. He and I were concerned that Jimmy might strike his brother. So that's when we stepped in.
Must be crazy going against her boss like this.
You
Well,
testified you've
ex-boss.
known my client for some time. How long exactly?
Nearly 10 years. His brother asked to hire him in the mailroom at our firm.
And you did.
Yes, he had a lot of get up and go. He was a hard worker.
You had a nickname for him, didn't you?
Charlie Hustle.
Charlie Hustle. How'd you feel when you found out he'd become a lawyer?
Surprised. He'd put himself through law school and taken the bar exam without telling any of the partners. We felt hiring Jimmy might damage morale.
Nepotism. Your firm is Hamlin, Hamlin, and McGill, right? Who's the other Hamlin?
My father.
Oh, so
Which partner was the most concerned with nepotism?
Charles McGill.
So Jimmy's own brother blocked him.
Objection. How are the hiring practices of Hamlin, McGill relevant?
let her
here?
do her thing.
It's
Let her
relevant
do
to
it.
understand
Come
the
on.
relationship between these brothers. Jimmy was struggling to build his solo law practice, and yet every single day, without fail, he brought his brother food, supplies, even his favorite newspapers. Isn't that right?
Good.
He did.
Could you speak to the terms of Charles's leave of absence?
You know I can't. It was an FMLA leave. Anything more is confidential.
But you can confirm it was due to mental illness, correct?
Objection. Charles McGill's mental health isn't at issue. This is a smear job on the State Bar's upcoming witness, nothing more.
This is not a competency hearing, Miss Wexler.
I have nothing further.
The witness is excused.
You saw the way he looked at Kim while walking away.
At this time, the
You waiting
State
for
Bar would like to
something?
enter Exhibit 5 into evidence. We ask that Charles McGill's recording be played.
I'm respectfully renewing my objection. The probative value of playing this exhibit is outweighed by how prejudicial it is.
All due respect to Miss Wexler, but the State Bar feels this is fundamental to hear.
We need to know whether one lawyer attempted to tamper with another's evidence.
All right, the bleeding's about to start for sure.
What are you still doing here?
Flight's delayed. How delayed?
Francesca, you better hear everything.
Shit. Okay, keep me posted. What are we doing?
9 times.
Stalling.
Yep. What are we waiting for, though?
Yes, my brother has many admirable qualities. In some ways, I can say I admire him. But the law is too important.
Better sure shit wouldn't be telling you otherwise. Yes.
You'd go to such lengths to humiliate me.
I did it for Kim. She worked her butt off to get Mesa Verde while you and Howard sat around sipping scotch and chortling. I thought you'd just say, oh crap, I made a mistake, and go on with your life like a normal person. But oh no, wishful thinking.
Oh, Francesca's
can
just like,
I,
oh, shit.
Tell Howard you're not quitting or retiring or whatever.
You do realize you just confessed to a felony?
Yes. But you feel better, right?
Excuse me. Sorry.
Oh my god! We know who that is! He looks so different! Huel.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Go on, Mr. McGill.
Without physical evidence, I felt that a recorded confession, if I could get one, was my best bet. I suppose that Jimmy must have felt the tape was decisive evidence on its own. Otherwise, he wouldn't have broken in to destroy it.
Objection, more speculation. How can he know what was going on in Jimmy's head?
Sustained. We just need to hear what happened, Mr. McGill.
I exaggerated the symptoms of my disease to extract the truth.
Can we talk about your disease for a moment? But you admit that no doctor has ever diagnosed you.
AIDS was not identified properly until 1981. These things take time to
think he put
unravel, even
electronics
for
on him.
doctors.
Do you hate your brother?
Oh,
Absolutely not.
he rehearsed this answer.
I love my brother. There's nothing malicious in Jimmy. And the way my brother treats the law, it breaks my heart.
Thank you, Mr. McGill. The State Bar rests.
Put on the brakes.
I'm sorry, my co-counsel and I need a moment to confer.
Please be brief, Counselor.
Should be.
Oh, what are you up to?
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry. Might I have a moment to get a breath?
Of course, Mr. McGill. Folks, let's call this 15.
You two catch up.
Chuck, it's good to see you.
I have to say, I'm a bit surprised. Did Jimmy subpoena you? You're not on the witness list. You don't have to testify.
No, I'm not here for that. I can't believe what you've been going through. How long has it been?
Because all this is so stressful for me. Is that what Jimmy told you?
He's worried about you, Chuck. In spite of everything that's happened between the two of you, he cares.
What exactly did he say?
Well, that you had been sick, allergic to electricity. He sent me pictures of the house. Chuck, my God.
The pictures that Mike took, remember?
I didn't want to upset you.
I guess that I'm more of a distraction. So I'm going to be in town for a few days, and I would love to spend some time with you.
No, please. I want you to
She
stay.
did her job.
No,
Now
you don't
he's
seem happy to see me.
now he's tense and
Stay.
his mind is
sure?
cluttered.
Yes, I'm sure.
You know, she's gonna hate you when this is over. Yep. I'd like to try and follow your story of why and how you recorded it.
Oh, is this where you claim the tape is spurious? That it's not really your voice?
No, that's me on the tape. But still, I have some questions. Like the recorder, it must have hurt like hell for you to touch that. Would you like to set the scene for the disciplinary committee? Tell them, you know, what your house looked like at the time of the recording.
Objection. Relevance?
Well, the circumstances of the recording are materially relevant. How can you know what the tape really means unless you know what was going on when it was recorded?
Overruled. The witness could answer the question.
I covered most of the walls with foil scrim craft insulation. I also hung a number of space blankets.
It was like being inside of a disco ball.
Do you have a point?
How did you know it would work?
What do you mean?
How did you know your provocation would work? Why'd you think a bunch of shiny plastic would make me say anything? Isn't it because you knew that it was precisely the thing that would worry me so much that I'd say anything to talk you down?
Ooh.
Objection.
Okay, withdrawn. This is your house, right?
Yes.
So exposed wires. There's a camp stove. There's a lantern on top of newspapers. You call this normal?
I call them adaptations.
Did the doctor who granted me guardianship for you think this was a physical condition?
Objection. You can't introduce the TEG as evidence. Besides which, the panel has already ruled that Mr. McGill's mental health is not at issue.
No, the state bar opened the door to this on direct when the witness talked about his supposed play acting. Allowing me to follow up on cross is only reasonable.
I see what he's doing
discussed
here.
a physical allergy, not a mental disability.
Potato, it comes down to this. In order to understand what I was thinking, you need to see Chuck through my eyes. You think the stress of the divorce brought on the illness?
I doubt it. It was an amicable split. My ex-wife and I are still on good terms. What Jimmy's driving at is the last time I saw her, I covered up my illness. I've been suffering from it for some time, but I went to great lengths to conceal that fact from her. He knows I still have a lot of feeling for my ex-wife. He's hoping this will break me down. Split me apart at the seams like a murderer confessing on an episode of Perry Mason. Have I answered your questions to your satisfaction? Do you have anything else?
The way he talks down to him. Oh, God.
Yeah, I do.
What is it?
This illness, what does it feel like? You mentioned it's painful.
It is. There's a tightness in my chest, difficulty breathing, and pain. Burning pain. The pain spreads everywhere.
Does
Some
it hurt right
discomfort,
now?
yes. Electricity is everywhere in the modern world.
Even in your
But
pocket.
I very much appreciate the indulgence of the panel for their accommodation here today. I can handle this fine.
You remember when that lady asked where Jimmy's phone was and he said he was in his car?
With the
I
lights
think
out,
Cool
you
had
don't
it.
feel them.
If the current's not flowing, no.
Oh, sorry about the exit signs. I guess they couldn't kill those for you.
Well, they're not drawing much current and they're far away.
Got it. So if I had a small battery safe from a watch or something and I got it close to you, close to your skin, you'd know.
I would feel it, yes.
Can you tell us where the nearest source is right now?
Jimmy, do you have something in your pocket?
My cell phone. From this distance, you should feel it, and you don't, do you?
Mr. McGill, you were warned to leave your electronics outside.
It's all right. May I? Just as I thought. There's no battery in here. You removed the battery. That's a sorry little trick, isn't it?
Yeah, you got me, Chuck.
I see.
Dead to rights. I removed the battery.
Objection.
Sustained. You've taken all the leeway you're getting, Mr. McGill. Wrap it up fast.
Could you reach into your breast pocket and tell me what's there?
What now?
What's in there?
Can
Oh,
you tell the court what that was?
my my cell phone battery.
Battery.
Mr. Chairman,
Do
please.
you recognize that man in back? His name is Huel Babineau. He's on our witness list. You bumped into him in the stairway. He'll testify he planted this fully charged battery on you over an hour and a half ago.
Hour and 43 minutes.
An hour and 43 minutes. Thank you, Mr. Babineau.
No, it's a trick. It has
Oh,
Is
shit.
enough. I submit that Mr. McGill's mental illness is a non-issue. If he were schizophrenic, it wouldn't take away from the fact that the defendant...
am not crazy. I am not
Oh
crazy.
my gosh.
I know he swapped those numbers. I knew it was 1216. He covered his tracks. He got that idiot at the copy shop to lie for him.
Mr. McGill, please, you don't have to go
You
in.
think this is something? You think this
Oh,
is bad? This
no.
chicanery? He's done worse.
That's the name of the
That
episode.
billboard. Are you telling me that a man just happens to fall like that? No, he orchestrated it. Jimmy.
Question
He
of sanity.
defecated through a sunroof. And I saved him. He'll never change. He'll never change. Ever since he was 9, always the same. Couldn't keep his hands out of the cash drawer. And he gets to be a lawyer? What a sick joke.
Oh my god.
I should have stopped him when I had the chance.
Whoa.
And you have to stop him.
Oh shit. In front of his ex-wife, in front of Howard. Kim, everybody. The bar.
I got carried away.
Oh no. I kind
Do
of
you have
felt
anything else?
bad, but
No.
that's my case. No more
Nothing
questions.
further.
Chicanery. Man. But I can't I'm really nervous about next episode. I mean, again, in regards to Jimmy, good job. But in regards to Chuck, I don't know how this is gonna end for him, especially his career as a lawyer, in terms of his condition and everything like that. I wonder if Jimmy's going to flip this to make it to where his mental stability is going to come into question about him being a competent lawyer, So this can easily be flipped on its head to show Chuck as not being mentally stable or competent enough to continue with being an attorney, and possible consideration of disbarment. And I think, because remember, Kim did say, you realize she's going to hate you after this. And Jimmy said, yep. So I think he's going to turn this all on Chuck to get him disbarred. Because at this point in time, yeah, the tape was bad, but I don't think she was even there to hear the tape. But she was there to hear Chuck testify, and she was there to see everything after that moment come to light and hear how Chuck just did not want Jimmy to become a lawyer, and how deep this goes, and his resentment for Jimmy since he was a child. He even went back to all the way since he was 9 years old, and that brings up the jealousy. And then you can start thinking about obviously at this point, even Jimmy doesn't even know his mother's last words were asking for him. His mother's last words were asking for James. And the fact that that was a lie, so that even shows right there that it just boiled up hatred. And the fact that it still haunts him and it still lingers so aggressively in Chuck, I think it does show that Chuck never really let this go. From when they were kids all the way up to when they were adults, to the death of their mother, all the way to present day. It's always been, Jimmy does not deserve the life that I have because he did not work as hard as I did. Yes, Jimmy has done horrible things and irredeemable things, and he's still continuing to, to do those things. He did sabotage their client to get it, to get them back to Kim. He did do those things. But now that's about to be thrown out the window because of the actions of Chuck. And that is unfortunate. It really is. I feel horrible for Chuck, but at the same time, Chuck isn't innocent either. In the law's eyes, yes, he is. But in the eyes of morality and just familial support, or I don't know how to put it, man. It's just the way that he feels about his own brother just isn't there. And that's what's going to, crazy enough, showing that it does go this deep. The hatred for Jimmy does go this deep because of him becoming a lawyer. That might be what ruins this case for him in favor of Jimmy. So, this is going to be interesting, man. I'm really nervous, but this has been interesting. But anyways, of course, if you guys are watching this over on YouTube, definitely check out the Patreon for full-length access as well as early access to anything Better Call Saul, plus any other shows and movies that we are watching. I would love your support, but aside from that, you guys have a great day / night, and I'll see you later. Subscribe.